In earlier years, Apple has frequently separated the Pro Max from the Pro via additional highlights, perhaps more astute cameras or better adjustment highlights. That is not the case this time around. The iPhone 14 Pro Max is an iPhone 14 Pro with a battery that endures a lot of time longer and a greater screen that is better for gaming. I'd say it's the main iPhone to suggest in the event that you're after a huge presentation, but with the appearance of the more reasonable iPhone 14 or more, that is not really the situation. Screen and design. The enormous 6.7 inches show is a delight. Dynamic Island utilizes the notch. Square-shaped design can feel unwieldy. There are two fundamental motivations to pull for the Max variant of the iPhone 14 Pro over the customary 14 Pro, and the first of those reasons is the screen. While the iPhone 14 Pro has an unassuming 6.1 inches OLED show, the Max has a far bigger 6.7 inches show. A greater presentation is, as I would see it, much better on the off chance that you utilize your phone a ton for gaming, content creation, or utilization. Network programs from Netflix or Disney, particularly those delivered in HDR, look staggering on the spacious material, and there's quite a lot more space to feel submerged in with games. The iPhone 14 Pro Max, similar to the 12 and 13 Pro Max before it, remains nearly gem-like in its design approach. The profoundly cleaned, treated steel sides shimmer in the daylight, while the scope of three tones, alongside an extremely vainglorious gold, are quieted and classy. I for one lean toward the better time conceals you'd find on the iPhone 14 line. However, the decisions here, particularly the new profound purple, do radiate a more professional vibe. The greatest visual change this time around is the new Dynamic Island. This got a ton of stage time during the phone's declaration, and dodgy name to the side, it seems like a proper step in the right direction for the disparaged notch. In the event that we don't see a sprinkling of Android phones with a comparable component in 2023, I will be extremely shocked. Dynamic Island takes the notch that has been available since the iPhone X, isolates it from the top bezel, and adds a smart programming around it to transform it into another little intelligent region, while as yet concealing the variety of front cameras and Face ID sensors. The remainder of the screen is comparably splendid. The greatest redesign is in brilliance, both in HDR utilization and when you're outside on radiant days. This is the most brilliant screen I have utilized outside, with it effectively fighting direct beams. I dig more into the showcase in my iPhone 14 Pro survey, yet it truly marks every one of the containers. The smooth, versatile 120Hz ProMotion show inclines all over, relying upon what you're doing, and it makes all that from looking all over a site page to gaming feel a lot of smoother than on the 60Hz iPhone 14. Apple has permitted the screen to drop to 1 Hz for the 14 Pro series, empowering a consistently on choice that keeps the screen generally noticeable in an obscured state. While some Android phones do this by just featuring specific pieces of the presentation, generally the clock, the iPhone 14 Pro Max dials the entire screen back so it simply invigorates one time each second. Camera. The very same camera game plan as the iPhone 14 Pro. 48 megapixel primary sensor, improved selfie camera. Fax zoom still not quite as solid as the opposition from Samsung. The iPhone 14 Pro Max matches the camera spec of the more modest Pro, so you're not getting any advantages by plumping for the greater, more costly choice. As I referenced in the survey of that phone, this is right up there with the Pixel 7 Pro and the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra as the best camera phone you can purchase. As with past iPhones, it's a simple, speedy phone to shoot with and takes dependably amazing pictures in all circumstances. The expansion of Auto Center around the front camera likewise assists it with taking incredible selfies. In sunshine, it tends to be difficult to detect contrasts between the 13 Pro Max and the 14 Pro Max. However, it offers more space for imagination, with 2 or 3 additional Pro designated includes and improved low-light abilities. Execution. The A16 Bionic chipset is an incredible entertainer. 6GB SLAM, up to 1TB capacity. No SIM space in the USA. One of the additional amazing parts of the iPhone 14 territory is the expulsion of the SIM space in the USA, compelling clients to change to eSIM. It seems like all significant transporters are upheld, and the process of changing from an actual card to a virtual one is clear. My UK survey unit sports a SIM space like all past iPhones, and I don't feel the tech is in a place near being as cutting edge here. While Vodafone, the organization I surveyed the phone on, upholds it, others don't. 3, for instance, is a well-known network in the UK and at present doesn't uphold eSIM. Like the evacuation of the headphone jack and the charging plug from the container, this feels like a change that will saturate the very good quality phone market before long. Battery duration. No charger included. MagSafe and wired charging choices, charging rates and perseverance like 13 Pro Max. The iPhone 14 Pro Max probably won't be the best new iPhone for battery duration. That honor goes to the iPhone 14 or more, however it's a phone that will go all the way and easily dominates Android phones. I utilized the iPhone 13 Pro Max unequivocally for various months after delivery, and I cherished how long it would endure between charges. I would frequently have 30% left following a bustling day, and there were various occurrences where I could go 2 more slow days without going after the charger. Having involved the iPhone 14 Pro Max for 10 days, the battery duration is comparable yet not exactly comparable to the 13 Pro, essentially with the showcase generally on. Handicap that component and the battery can match that of its ancestor. I've found that the iPhone 14 Pro Max runs down speedier than the 13 Pro in regular use, yet in particular assignments, it endures longer. This is probable down to the more splendid screen sucking up more squeeze. Real-time circled video went on close to an hour and a half longer on the fresher model, an advantage of the more productive chip. How long the iPhone 14 Pro Max will keep going for you will truly rely on how hard you push it and how undertakings you manage it. In the event that you bring down, as far as possible, a portion of the screen includes, and stay away from concentrated errands like top-of-the-line gaming, then, at that point, it's a 2-day phone. Transfer bunches of HDR video, shoot crude photographs and sledge 5G, and you'll be squeezing up before you head to sleep. Finally, thanks for watching my video. Please subscribe to my channel to get more video.